Hey traders from around the world, welcome to your Monday real life stock review. It's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsome, and we got ourselves a continuation of a little bit of a bearish day out there on the SPY. And this particular moment in time just looks like it's going to most likely get that secondary bounce. Here's your kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern. Really looks better on a daily. If I draw it on a daily, here's daily chart, something like this, and, are we going to bounce today? Probably not. I mean, we obviously could, of course, and that'd be totally fine. I'd be absolutely game with it if it happens. But in this particular juncture, I still think we can come down to kind of fill this gap. That's exactly what we did on the Qs. So here's the Qs, and we did break it down and end up filling this gap down here almost to its entirety. So the high of this candle, 166.04, the low of today, 166.18. So we still technically have 14 cents before the gap is filled totally. But looking at the weekly chart on the Qs, it actually looks like we have ourselves a rest after battle pattern. So bearish candle, some white candles come in, bearish candle, and I know it's still early in the week, but this gap today was on a Monday, right, the start of a new week, which means that you want to pull up those weekly charts to see how they look on that time frame. Could the Qs come all the way down to the 100? Absolutely. I mean, we've done that recently, where back in here we trade down to the 100, and over here and over here and over here. That was back in 2015, 2016 era. So sure, it could easily happen again, and if that does happen on the Qs, we trade all the way down to 155, 156 time area. Then the SPY could easily trade down lower and make that relative low pretty close to the 100, where we get something like this, this, and this. That's kind of what I'm hoping for anyway. It would just make the most sense. Apple had a nice bearish gap down today. This was, of course, what the Squigsters thought Apple was going to do, because you had a bearish gap and go right here. Bearish gap and go. Let me just hide these drawings for a second. So bearish gap and go, got a continuation on the 5th. This was a retest gap at that point, and Apple has gone from 222 to 198, so you would expect a retest. There's the retest. And on these 2 days right here, I mentioned something very specific on Apple in the afternoon swing trading room on Thursday. I mentioned this is the candle on the 8th of November. I said this is it. This is the rotation, so either we go lower from here or we break above and fill this gap. And obviously we went lower. So Mr. Squiggles calling that one perfectly on Apple. My buddy Charles March, who is in town until Thursday for some day trading boot camp action, some one-on-one in-person coaching, which is going phenomenal, by the way. This dude is an absolute machine, and I'll be interviewing him on Wednesday. However, this put sale at 190. He does not mind owning some shares of Apple at 190. It is below the 200, which I think we have an opportunity to get below. So you'll notice we got below the 100 here, or sorry, the 200 here. We got below the 200 here, and we're now back at it again. Here's the 50 on the weekly. This is the 50 exponential moving average, which we bounced off there. We bounced off there, and that's at 192.61. I think Apple has a little bit lower to go, just a smidge, before we start getting any type of bouncing on Apple. But this has been a great, nice, gorgeous rollover. Speaking of rollover, here's Square. And after earnings, right, even though they had really good earnings, it was a gap and go on earnings. White candle gapping down. And my plan on Square, as you can see, it was kind of like a worst case scenario, I thought, but turns out worst case scenario is pretty much what's happening. And we're kind of breaking down and trading down. A lot of traders are selling some puts down here on Square, but it is below the 200 simple moving average. And if I get put down there at 60, many real-life traders got called away with their shares at 85. So getting put, again, at 60 to buy low, sell high, and hold through this kind of chop-zilla phase of the market on Square, I think would be totally understandable. So yeah, keep an eye on Square. Watch it closely. I think it has all the room in the world to go a little bit lower, but it did fill this bullish retest gap that just happened so quick. Right, so usually in markets like this, I mean, you very, very rarely get just like that V bottom. Oftentimes you'll get that multi-bottom, triple bottom, double bottom, inverted head and shoulders, that type of time frame, type of move. So this retest gap is filled all the way today. And I did take 2 day trades on square. Here was a 5-minute chart and played this one bearish. So this was this is the bullish setup, obviously. So let me just hop over here. So the bearish trade, you can see kind of like this double top kind of started to come in. So here's the double top right there. Broke the double top below that support, retested, and broke lower. So when that happened, that was, cool, I guess. And then once this candle came in right here at 12:25 Central, 1:25 Eastern, I took the stop, which was originally up here, and I dropped that stop. Let me move this over here. Dropped that stop to just right above the high of that candle. And then once that pattern came in, so this move, once I got stopped out, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this for a bullish trade, because obviously if I'm getting trapped, some other traders are probably getting trapped. Here is the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And what I was looking for at this is, for the failure to come in. Well, the failure came in, evening starred, rolled over a little bit, and a lot of volume came in here at 12:45 Central, right as I was shutting down the morning trading room. So right as I was shutting that one down, all of that volume came in, and then we immediately started getting a bullish candle off of that support. So I was thinking to myself, okay, well, we just got trapped bearish. Let me hop over here to the bullish trade. So this is what I posted to everyone at channel. So, okay, one more go on SQ, bullish day trade. This is the candle I wanted, $1 stop, trying to get that 0.67 Rs back. That's how much I lost on the trade. This was a setup. Nice, easy $1 risk, 69.15 by 68.15. This was the setup. And for anyone who didn't get a chance to get filled on this candle, got filled here at 1:30. And again, just $1 of risk. So nothing too crazy. So as it kind of flirted around here, I just got back from lunch, went to McAllister Deli with Charles and his wife, and right here, just exited for 70.15, took the R, got my 0.67 Rs back, feeling good, up on the day, and that's square as far as the day trades are concerned. Yeah, had a request for Crocs, C-R-O-X, and Crocs, let's pull up here on the weekly chart. And this is a stock that is very surprising, at least to me. Pretty much almost bankrupt back here in 2008, like penny stock land. Rallied hard all the way back up. Started from the bottom, now we're here. This is a resistance from back in 2007 and also a little bit of resistance from 2011. Crocs trading up strongly. So a lot of volume up here. Strong trend. It's already moved pretty far. And so the question just simply, I guess, is how far is it going to retest this retest gap? And I don't really know the answer to that. That's a good question. Looking at it, I mean, I would love it to pull back to the 10 EMA on the daily, or at least the 50 EMA on the hourly, which is about $24 right now. Huge move, and the reason I think it could pull back a little bit farther is mostly because the trend is so close to a resistance and has moved so far already. So yeah, let's look at Crocs to see if it can pull back down into the 10 EMA. I like the trend. I do think it's a dip buying opportunity, and just feel free to kind of watch it and see what it does from there. Facebook today, ladies and gentlemen, getting into a dangerous zone, trading down into a really, really good support. 4 bearish candles in a row. This report should hold on Facebook. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's supposed to, as far as wave counts and candlesticks and everything like that, because here's the weekly and the 200 simple moving average. I know it's at 133.94, but if we start taking that support out, there's no stopping Facebook to get to 133.94. And then from there, who knows? We probably will bounce. We've never hit it before, ever. So that most likely be a stopping spot, but from here we'll just kind of have to wait and see what ends up transpiring on Facebook. But that is a little worse for the wear right now. Alibaba was down a little bit today. Didn't have the best singles day numbers, but Alibaba, more or less just kind of hanging out. Here's the weekly chart. Still looks a little weakly Got that inside week last week, and so far we're already making lower lows and lower highs. And that's Alibaba. Here's IQ, and IQ to me looks like it's going to just slowly creep down a little bit lower. Walmart earnings going to be around the corner. My buddy Charles, who's here, has some shares of Walmart, and he got himself into a 110 covered call, which there is a good amount of premium. So if you have shares of Walmart longer term and want to lock in some covered call premium, that's for this Friday. I think he got $1. So that's pretty good. Granted, he did sell them almost at the exact high of the day, but yeah, nice little pullback after a bunch of white candles in a row. Can't say that that was entirely unexpected. But here's the weekly chart on Walmart, and if we trade sideways and gap up on Walmart, I don't think we open above 110 on earnings, but if we do, that would be a really, really strong gap. Most likely would still fill most of the gap, though, very similar to what we did over here, to eventually continue a little bit higher. That'll be an interesting one to kind of keep your finger on the pulse with. I think that's about it. I didn't have any other requests for today. If you do have any requests at any point in time, feel free to throw them my way. Be happy to look at them. My goal is to just simply review your requests and help you all become proficient, profitable traders every single month. Folks from around the world, you are amazing. I'll see you on Wednesday. And until then, remember, love life, and trade it. Bye.